Hey guys, I'm back today with a Spellbinders video featuring the club kits of the month. The main focus today is the stitched die of the month. This is my first time stitching on paper, and when I was a little girl, about 12 years old, my sister actually introduced me to cross stitch. It was my very first craft. And I did cross stitch for quite a while before I actually changed different crafts along the way in my life. And this was a lot of fun bringing DMC thread to paper. So I just really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I see myself doing this a lot. I had a great evening. I turned the TV on, I watched some movies, and I just stitched away. I've got 3 different cards featuring this die set, and they're all done a little bit differently. Our theme is rainbow today, and I've done all 3 starting with pastel and getting a little darker as we go in the hues of the rainbow. And then at the end of the video, if you stick around with me, I've got a bonus card for you that's completely different. It's very cool and just completely opposite of what you would think when you think rainbow. And it's using this die set completely different than what it's meant to be used for. So stick around and let me know what you think. Let me know which card is your favorite. And if you learn anything or enjoy this video in any way, give me a thumbs up and considering following me by subscribing. And it's big support to me in my YouTube journey, and I appreciate any support you can lend me. So let's play. Okay guys, so this is the stitched die of the month, and it is a 4 die piece, a 4 die set, and it's got this cover plate. It's got this inner piece that's their stitching die. And then it's got a sentiment plate. And then it's got this interesting die here that cuts out all these little pieces. And here I can show you the little pieces. All these little tiny pieces it cuts out. And these get stitched on top, which are optional, which I'll show you. Here is a couple samples that I've finished here. This one here, I stitched the top piece, and then I stitched these on flat on top in silver. And then I have used a sentiment from the stamp and die, the clear stamp and die of the month. This set here comes this March 2023 as well, and it has 4 different sentiments that have coordinating dies, along with the butterflies and this shape here that also has coordinating dies. And these stamps and this stamp set also have coordinating filler flowers to actually stamp in the color of each of the stamps, which is pretty cool. So that is your clear stamp and die set. So we're just using, in this card, we are just using the sentiments of this. So, like I said, this one here, this first card sample here, I have used these little add-on pieces flat, and they're stitched on after I did the stitching inside, which we are going to do on this 3rd card over here. But I just wanted to show you up close that I've done these flat. And then on this card, this is the intended way to do the card. And on these are actually scored to where you can bend these up and make them look quilt pattern like. I believe these are called cathedral windows, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong from my quilting days. Because yes, I quilted too, many eons ago. But I want to, they're cathedral windows or quilted windows or something like that. I've made them before. But they're very, very pretty when they're pulled up like this. So I made a card like that as well. And here again, I've used one of the sentiments in the center. And on both of these cards, I've used Pink Fresh Studios in the centers for the embellishments. This one here is in silver, and this one, let's see. This one is metallic pearls and silver, and this one was clear drops and iridescent. That's what I used. And here again, to pull in the silver for this one. And this one, it just pulls in the rainbow. So it really picks up the color that it's near. It's really cool the way it does that. So these are our first two cards. And now we're going to actually finish making this one here. And I have stitched all but one of them. So we're going to do the stitching on this one here. And then we will add the sentiment and finish the card up here in the video. So I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to do this last one here in purple. So DMC floss, for anyone that has not stitched before, comes in 6-ply. Pull a little bit more of that out. So I am stitching, I actually tried it in 2-ply and 3-ply. 3-ply was a little too much for the size holes. So I kept it at 2-ply. And there are many ways to start and stop your stitching. I went ahead and did it the way I always did on fabric, which is covering your tails up while you're stitching. It makes for a very neat back without a lot of, I don't like a lot of loose threads in the back, like where you cross over and you have a loose thread that can get caught. I like all of my stitching to be nice and neat on the back, where you don't have a lot of crossovers. So I will show you how to keep it neat on the back. Some people like to tape it. You can use double-sided adhesive to tape your stitching down if you don't want to worry about trying to tuck your tails in. But I'm going to show you the actual way I do it with tucking your tails in. And it's very easy, and it keeps it flat. And I found it actually glues down really, really well. And it keeps it really nice and neat on the back too. See, the front is neat and the back is pretty neat too. So I will teach you how to do that. So I did learn from this that my eyesight is not what it used to be, but I can still thread a needle. So I just barely, I'm probably going to eventually need to get a needle threader, but they're really cheap. So if you need one, get one. I don't have my glasses on right now, but it would have probably been easier to do this with glasses. So what I did is I started at the top and I came down in the center, and then what I do is I want a tail to be, I want the tail to be not longer than these other holes. I don't want it to be longer than that because I don't want it to show. So then I'm going to go up in the next hole. I'm holding this tail with my finger here. And I'm going to make sure it's caught with that thread. And I'm going to still hold it because it's only caught by one thread so far. Okay, I got the second one. So I'm going up coming up from the back in the outside hole and going down in the center hole. And if you see them cross like that, you can just pull your thread, pull your needle straight through like that, and it tightens them up. Straightens them up. And if you notice back here, because you had that first stitch catch that tail, it's continuing to catch that tail with each thread, which is what you want. You want each time this comes through like this on the back, you want this tail to be caught by that thread coming through. And the more that it does, the more secure that tail is going to be. So go down in the center and go up in the outer and turn it over and make sure your tail's getting caught. Go down in the center and up in the outer. See, it's been caught all the way. You see how it's being caught? Okay, we're fourth way done, and now that tail has been caught all the way across. Now I'm going to move it down a little bit just so it doesn't show over here, but it has been caught by all of those, and it's going to continue to be caught all the way as we keep going. And then that tail, you don't have to worry about it getting untangled. Come out, for it to come out. So I'm going to keep going, and I may speed this up if the time ends up getting away from us. Just wanted to make that note just in case for some reason I do. I'll see how long it is at the end. This is the perfect thing to do when you're actually sitting and watching TV, though. Or if you have a ball game, your kids have ball games, or your grandchildren have events that you want to go to and watch, you can just watch and stitch at the same time. If you're traveling, just take a little Ziploc with these in it. Pre-die cut, have your little threads with you. You can just stitch these away. Easy peasy. So now we're at the halfway point. And look, your thread is all done. Your thread's all gone. Oops. See that? Nice and neat. So let me get to the end and I'll show you how to conceal your end thread. Now, just because I'm stitching this way doesn't mean this is the only way you can stitch this. You could go around the outer edges with this. You could make little squares in each corner with this. You can stitch this any way you want to. You can make any design in it you want to. There's no rules here. Stitching is, when you have a cross stitch pattern, they give you the pattern. But this is just holes in paper. So if you want to change out the colors every 5 stitches, you could change out the colors and make your own pattern. And I see myself doing that in the future. Okay, my string is getting too small here, so I'm going to finish this string and start a new one. So I'm going to go down here so I can get to the back. And this may happen if you don't make your string long enough. And then I'm going to go under these strings, because right now I got to bury my thread so that I don't have to knot it. And I'm going to go under a few more strings. This is just like we did with the first string. And then I'm just going to go under a few more and then just let it come out. And then I'm just going to trim that tail. There we go. Nice and neat. So I'm going to get a little bit more. Whoops. Get 2 more strands off of here. Thread that needle. And this time I have a place to tuck it because I didn't have to start it this time. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck it under. And I like to tuck it just like I finished it. I like to go a couple of different directions just to make sure it's not going to pull out the first couple times I stitch with it. And let's see, I will go up to this corner up here because that's where I'm headed. Okay. So then we will go up here, down in the center. We will finish this baby off. When you notice this and you see how this is getting tangled when I get threads together, that this gets a little tangled. To fix that, you can hold it up and let this unwind. It's hard to show in the video, but I'm holding the stitch piece up in the air and I'm just letting the needle hang down and let the needle just hang, and your floss will unwind and it won't do that anymore when you put the pieces together. So that's just a little tip. If you see when your threads are next to each other, if you see them wind up on each other, just let it dangle. Let your needle dangle and let them unwind. And they'll just do that, and it won't tangle. And it'll just help you not get knots in your threads while you're going up and down. Okay, we're almost done here. Last one. And I do pull these pretty tight. The only time I don't is when I have a thread that is, you know, I'm trying to get caught, like that first thread when we were starting the threads. That's really the only time I don't pull it pretty taut. So just tuck this under a couple times and then we'll cut it off. All right. Now, let's see. The other thing I was going to show you here, stitching wise, is how to stitch those little pieces on. Now, for this sentiment, I am using blue ink, similar to the background, and an oldie but a goodie Stampin' Up! Retired ink. And so I was going to go ahead and put some silver pieces just on the edges here, which is different than what I did with the previous 2 cards. Nothing says they have to be the same. And then I was going to put our sentiment there in the center with a little silver behind it. So decisions on the color of thread to use. Now my little bucket of threads here. I thought maybe, let's see, do I have white? I don't know if I have white in here. And I did just buy silver, but I don't think I have it out of the box yet. Okay, I'm going to pause this just for a second. I'll be back in 2 YouTube seconds. Okay. I just stole this from my Spellbinders box that I just got in the mail that I'm going to do an unboxing video for next. But we won't tell people in the unboxing video that you guys got a sneak peek at this first. Shh. Don't tell everybody. And when you watch it, pretend you've seen it for the first time right now, okay? This is a set of 4 that Spellbinders sell. And I priced these because they can get kind of expensive, these fancy ones. I price these on Amazon and Amazon, Joann's, and Michael's, I think. And Spellbinders had the best price, and I couldn't believe it. So, I don't know if it's because it's a 4-pack or what, but Spellbinders was the best price. So I ordered it from Spellbinders. So, let's see. I've not used this before either, so we are going to play. So let me take this off, I'm guessing. See? We are learning together, guys. See if I can figure out how to start it. Might be fast forwarding through this part so you don't have to watch. Oh, there it is. I've never used this kind. It is up under here. There it is. Okay. There we go. So let's take a piece of this. And we will take, oh, this isn't feels really nice. I wonder if you're supposed to use more than one thread of this. It's a little thicker though. It's really pretty. You're not going to see it really though because it's going to be up against the silver. But I just didn't want a funky color up against the silver. Ha! I did it! I guess if I had my glasses on, it'd probably be a little easier, huh? But I'm a renegade! Okay. Now, so let me show you how to do this. I'm going to break the rules here because this thread is super thin. I am going to attempt to hook this in here. Now, will you see if I run that under there? Let's see. Okay. Remember, we're learning. I'm going to get thumbs down in this video. You guys going to leave me thumbs down? Because we're learning? Okay, here we go. I'm kidding, guys. Don't leave me thumbs down. I would cry. All right. So, these little guys have 4 holes. And when you're putting them on here, you're actually skipping holes. So they do line up perfectly. I just wanted you to realize that you're skipping holes. On here, there's just the 4 holes. So just realize that. And you're doing back stitches when you're doing these. So you're going to skip one over. Whoops. Let me line the holes up. Come on. Okay. And then you go back. And then you go up. There we go. The little hole in the die cut wasn't out. And then you go back. Ooh, the silver thread is pretty. I like it. I like it. Alrighty, then we will put this one on here. And we will hook these little guys in on here. And we go up one and down one. Alrighty. Like that. Like that. Okay. So I broke my rule And I did do that little stitch right there, but I did that so I could tuck this in right here because this thread is so super fine. And because this is so fine, you don't see that from this side. So I wasn't too worried about that. But it looks really cute, and I'm glad I had the silver because it doesn't mess with the other rainbow colors. I didn't want to put a blue or a yellow or something in here. So I think that turned out really good. Now I'm going to do the other side real quick, and then I'll be right back and we'll finish up the sentiment. Okay guys, I am back. We got the stitching done. I would recommend probably with the Card Shop Essential Metallic DMC threads, I would probably recommend one of those inexpensive needle threaders. They're like $1. It would probably just relieve some headache. Now, of course, I told you I don't have my glasses on, but I did lose the thread once more on the other side, and I had to fiddle with it to try to get it to thread again. So they spiral, so you have like 3 threads on a thread. So just, you know, it was my first time using it, so that would just be my advice with this. Other than that, I would definitely encourage this. It's gorgeous. It has a luxurious feel to it. And like I said, buying it in the 4-pack, to me, it was such a better deal than just getting like one pack. I found it really pricey when I saw how much one was going on Amazon. So this was a really good deal. So I will put this down below in the description in case anyone wants to check that out. Other than that, we are going to go ahead and glue this so it can be drying while we do our sentiment. I'll show you how I did that. For this, what I did is took my glue. I went ahead and used a strong liquid adhesive here. And I did, in my new Spellbinders box that I will be doing the unboxing for, I did get the Barely Art glue, so I will be trying that one out as well. Right now, I am using both the Nouveau Deluxe and the Art Glitter Glue. I use them both for different reasons. This one I like because it gives me extra wiggle room, and the Art Glitter I like because it dries quick. So, you know, for different reasons, I like each of them. Like for when I went to apply my dot or my gems, I really like the quick drying. And when I apply my layers, I like the extra drying time so that I can get them straight. So I'm interested to see how the, whoops, I'm gonna go the other direction. So my pink is at top. So I'm interested to see how the Barely Art glue does. I believe that's what it's called, Barely. I think that's, I'll see. When we unbox it, I'll see. And once this is down here, you have to put something heavy on it while it dries. So let's get this down on the edges here. Really good. Did I get some on the, I don't think I put it on the, forgot the stitching. I like to do some dots on the stitching and I forgot because I'm talking. It just really secures that stitching. Okay, let's try this again. I was talking, guys. Okay. There we go. So I have got a couple of clear blocks here that we are going to put on top of this. And then we'll move this aside. And we'll do our, make sure that still looks pretty centered. Put that aside over there. And we're going to do our sentiment real quick. And hopefully that'll be dry by the time we do our sentiment. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I have previously cut the die that cuts out the stamped image into my paper here. And the reasoning for that is so that I can line up this stamped image, the stamp, right inside that hole right there. And then I can come down here and pick this up. And then I'll place the die cut right in there. And then we will ink up the stamp. Oops. And come right down on there. And because I'm not looking at this straight on, usually I look overhead. And because I didn't, it did not stamp correctly, of course. So it is off. Usually I would be looking ahead, and I would line up the stamp. I would lean over like this and better line it up. But because I was trying not to lean my head in the camera, I didn't line it up properly. So I will do a redo on that because you see how it didn't line it up properly. So before attaching that to my card for the finished card, I will line that up and do a redo. But just showing you the technique, I'll leave this blooper in, of course, so you can see how I messed up. But normally, looking straight down, you would line this up better and you would see where it was going to stamp when you look straight down. And the idea is that you're going to pick it up and then you're going to put your paper in and then you're going to come back down on it and it's going to be stamped evenly each and every time. And then if you're doing multiple images, then you would just put the die cut in there each time and keep going. And it would just be, you'd have, it's like a jig. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, so then I'm just going to put this here so I don't lose it. Because you know me, losing dies and stamps, it happens to me quite often. So this one right here, I lost just a little while ago. Do you know where I found it? On the back of my mini score pal. So yes, that one needs to be put back in the package, and we will do that here shortly when we open that package back up on the bonus card. I had cut out a shadow from this same die cut in silver, and I'm going to hold on to that and not glue this, but I'm going to offset that. See if I can do this without, yeah, offset that there like that for the sentiment on this last card. So let's pull that card back in here. It is glued down now nicely. And then actually, let me pull my Misty here in real quick. Whoops, the camera tilted just a little bit. Hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. We'll pull this in here real quick just to use this upper left-hand corner. And we will glue this down to our card base. You don't want to go in those holes if I can help it. Make this sure this is going the right direction, and then we will just push that in the corner like so. And with both of those butt up against the corner like that, we will get a nice straight card. Okay. So to finish that off, I will restamp that center. I will do a new one, and I will have that in the finished project photos there at the end with the correct stamped image in the center. Now for the bonus card, just real quick before I go to the bonus card, we will have these 3 different cards using the same stitched, and this is the stitched card of the month. I believe when this airs, it is probably the very last day that you can order this as a club. Usually about a week or 2 into the next following month, if they are still available, they will go for sale in the Spellbinders store. So I will watch for that, and if they come available, I will put the link down below for the one-off offer. In other words, you can buy it just by itself. If that becomes available where you don't have to purchase it as a club member, I will put that link below, and that's usually, it would probably be mid-April 2023 when that link would become available. But if it is still early enough, I will put the link below. But by the date of this video airing, it probably will be too late to order the stitched club of the month for this die in specifically. But do watch my links below this video for the possible the one purchase, the single purchase, to be able to get it, because if it becomes available, I will post it for you. It's definitely a keeper. I definitely like this. Now let me show you one thing you can do with it that is not anything like this. This is my bonus card. You ready? This is the bonus card. Now I created this. Let me find the die set. Using this die. It cuts out these pieces, but it leaves this gorgeous silhouette. So I cut my A2 size panel, then I cut it straight down the center, and then using these intersections right here, I was able to line up one on this side and one on this side for a beautiful A2 panel for the front of my card. I was able to trim it down to still be able to have a border behind it to give it this black border. And I made a silver one as well. Go a little closer. A silver one as well, and I offset the silver one, as you can see there. I offset the silver one behind it to give it a shadow effect of silver. I've used a glossy cardstock there for the butterfly, as you can see there. That butterfly is from the small die of the month, which is this one here. This is the small die for March 2023. And if this is also available as a one-time purchase, I will put that link down below as well once it becomes available. And this hello is from a relatively new set. Let me see here. It's by Simon Hurley, and this set is called Everyday Sentiments, and I love the font first of all, but I like the sentiments in this, and I love that they all come with shadow dies, which is where my shadow die goes to. Ta-da! So I will put that away where it belongs. But this is my bonus card, and I had a lot of fun making the flowers rainbow colors. And this design though was gorgeous. Here's it one time in a piece of scrap. That's when I was testing it to see what it would do by itself. And I just love the way this turned out. I love this background. And you could see it with pattern papers behind it as well. So those are my 4 cards for today. And I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed this video and will hit that thumbs up and that subscription button and ring that bell and be notified every time I post a new video. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.